And I want your take on the Stewarts.
Stewarts, again, last summer, a council person went into the public and started doing public meetings on something that was not presented to the planning board. People were very concerned houses were going to be torn down all the way up Woodlawn, multiple houses, that there was going to be 10 to 12 gas pumps, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And I think they've adjusted their plan.
The way they originally submitted it was that there's 6 cars worth of gas pumps and that they, as we know, are going to take the house on the corner.
Yeah.
Point being is people were not brought into this to bring public input in. They were brought into this to be scared of it. Again, with Stewart's, it created arguments.
Are you saying
and unfortunately, that choked off something very important that I'm really aggravated with right now.
Okay.
And again, this has to do with how the mayor has advisory control over the boards, planning board, scenic and historic. Scenic and historic wanted to block the demolition of the two-family house. They felt that that was going to tear down the fact that...
History.
No. Tear down the fact that Stewart's could build a gas station. Okay? They were all celebrating. It's over. We blocked the two-family house.
Right.
It's over. Prior to this all starting, I had an interaction. Well, I had an official interaction. I asked the planning board. I said, "Listen," or the scenic and historic board. I said, "Listen, I understand that you're assessing this two-family house, but a large part of your role here is to work with Stewart's to fit the Stewart's project into the community, the way it looks in the scenic and historic district, the facades, the colors, if there's dormers, what the roof line. So if they could do this, it could be built, but then look like part of the fabric of South Utica." That was totally missed. Everyone ignored it. They actually did not do that review and passed it as is. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, someone who lives 2 blocks from there, my council person let me down because they were worried about making sure they could block something because they felt they could block it. That was already zoned for that. The reality was we should have let the public interact, but then people who are the leaders in these situations, planning board, scenic, historic, et cetera, have to also pay attention to all their other jobs so that if something can happen, it does. Because look at the last Stewarts. They went to court, and the courts decided, no, they can do what they're doing.
Right.
Okay? So now we're getting a Stewart's at this juncture. I'm going to try and work with them to say, hey, can we modify this so it does look like the community?
Right.
But again, it was zoned for that already. The people tried to stop something. I appreciate all of that. Okay, but the council person led them into a fight she knew was not going to change. Okay, the council person was on Facebook saying this was spot zoning. It was not spot zoning when they got the variance. I would have liked to have seen the administration in front of that instead of letting misinformation flow and make people angry. Okay, that Stewart's debate, that Stewart's planning board and scenic historic process would have been much different had the administration stood up and said, listen, council members, listen, public, as much as this might be to your dismay, these 2 properties are zoned this way now. So this is the reality of what we're walking into.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain reality to people sometimes and definitive things because it hurts. But that's, we've talked about this for years. Look at the hospital project. Look at all the different things we deal with. When we decide to divide people up into for and against and pro and I don't want this and you're an idiot. And now we're arguing. Guess what? Things still happen, but then they don't happen in a way where we've brought them into the community, integrated them into the community. Then they just get rammed through.
Yeah.
It's our own fault sometimes.
Mike Galime, thank you. You've hogged up enough of our time.
Hey, man.